I have worked as a site-specific artist since 2005. It opened new paths for me into nature, the environment and contemporary art. On the way, I met with like-minded artists and we developed deep friendships. I met Karen Mache for the first time at the Geumgang Nature Art Biennale in Korea. Elena Redelli I got to know during Forest Art Path Chengdu in China. With Sally Kittle, I attended the Kiev Sculpture Symposium in Ukraine. Sally and I met Lucia Loren at the Land Art Biennale in Andorra. In Ivory Coast, Elena and me met Imke Roest during Abidjan Green Art. And then the COVID pandemic suddenly ended our nomadic artist existence. But we could still travel in our minds and meet each other online.
I don't go out into society, which I didn't do much anyway, but now I don't go at all. I don't go to exhibitions. I don't think if I can show this somewhere in an exhibition or whatever, But suddenly this all dawned on me and it was just kind of suffocating.
Elena got stuck while visiting friends in Sardinia. With just one dress to wear, she stayed 8 weeks in her friend's kitchen. And then finally she got permission to return home in the north of Italy. We realized that our window on the world had shrunk to the view from our studios. Each of us started to clean as a personal ritual.
C'è bisogno di pulire.
More than ever, I need to feel the ground of my bare feet to connect with life. Earth cleans and purifies me. I come into contact with the diversity of bacteria and microorganisms that keeps a healthy ecosystem inside out of my body.
Imke washed her hands with the soil of her place of birth, Namibia, far away and beyond reach now from Germany, where she lives. I cleaned my studio. Sally was still struggling with the psychological consequences of the bushfires in Australia. After the cleaning rituals, we needed a way to keep our weekly meetings worthwhile and challenging. We decided to read the book together and to visualize our reactions to its content.
In proposing a life of lines, I don't mean to suggest that there are no blobs in the world. My thesis is rather that in a world of blobs, there could be no social life. Blobs have volume, mass, density. They give us materials. Lines have none of these. What they have that blobs do not is torsion, flexion, and vitality. They give us life.
Tim Ingold's book, The Life of Lines, introduced valuable ideas for us to work with.
So reading this book from this guy Tim, reading about knots and lines and the way he describes them, to making me think about how our group is connecting, like with lines of energy connecting through the internet and coming to join each other's brains, sort of almost like big clusters of knots. You know, some of these things that we're saying to each other are feeding ideas that we maybe occur, you know, during our conversations that lead to other ideas.
Okay, I finished, not finished, but still in progress, but more or less this is what I wanted from this shape, inspired in lines and blobs, what we were talking about last time. My approach to lines and is those filaments that make us living beings, like the lines of a hand or the filaments from a mushroom. That's what I'm inspired of, and I'm trying to develop these kind of shapes related to nature.
My suggestion is that in a world where things are continually coming into being through processes of growth and movement, that is, in a world of life, knotting is the fundamental principle of coherence.
It's really nothing. It's not meaningful. I just couldn't connect to it any longer. I forcefully had to keep myself back from destroying everything. So I had a break. And then when I came back, I thought, okay, I just have to continue. Just, don't think about it, if it has meaning or what somebody else will think about it.
I made two, and in the end they started looking like beehives or I don't know, some kind of shelters or something like this. Yeah. So I like it a lot because without thinking, it became like an animal shelter or.
According to our master, Tim Ingold, he says everything is about fractal geometry, right? So all forms of nature are repeating the same pattern. So maybe Karin was inspired by fractal geometry.
Daily moments when I feel in between are when I'm drifting off to sleep, when I wake up in the morning but I'm not fully awake yet. I also feel in between when I'm drawing or weaving. These repetitive moments take me to an in-between state of awareness, state open to possibilities, a state of uncertainty where anything can happen.
Yeah, Tim talks about in between, where things are not yet given. I like that statement. It kind of makes me think about the unresolvedness of being in between. Like you're in midstream, or you're in this kind of dynamic, unpredictable state. A bit like Deleuze in Guitar is talking about opening up endless possibilities, you know. You never quite know where that journey will end. Well, I think in a state of being in between is a really good place to be. And I was thinking too this morning that, you know, often artists, we're kind of in between a lot of society's thinking and ways of behaving. We're always stepping back, and we have an ability to step back and observe across society.
I also like to meditate with my eyes closed by the sunset light. Then I try to feel and turn that light vibration feeling within myself to the drawings. Lack of vision allows me to be present. As Tim Ingold said, vision is the means given me for being absent from myself.
I got to the conclusion that I could not represent the void per se in an artwork. It's very difficult because what is the void? I mean, is it a hole? But I can make a hole with a bottom, and you can always see what it's on the other side, you know.
I have been thinking about the void or the pause in a line which is continuous, and our brain knows that it is actually continuous. And our brain knows to complete this line, even if we take out bits and pause the line.
Ingold made an example of a glacier. When we are in front of a glacier, we have the surroundings, the atmosphere is full of the presence of this object, extended object, which is the glacier, because we have the smell, the sound, the damp of the water. So it's not just one thing, it's a world together of different parts that make up this reality in which we are immersed. So there is no difference anymore between the object and ourselves. So in this way, if I think about this atmosphere, I can really understand this fusion almost between ourselves and what we are surrounded by. So we are not surrounded anymore, we are part of it.
So I just wanted to introduce some thoughts about productivity guilt, which is kind of, how we feel like we need to be doing something all the time to, explain our existence on the planet, that we are of some standing, particularly as an artist.
It's this really to try and get a balance between the excitement of creating new things and also giving us time to play and to explore and experiment with ideas without having the need to have a final product.
Well, now we are settled, and in a way it's okay. We have also our group to help us go on with creation and contacts, but still, yes. Maybe we already forgot about it kind of feeling, that why it was so beautiful to go around. No?